We're here today to talk about low emissions technology, also called low E or low emissions, low leak technology. This is all part of leak detection and repair or LDAR programs. In the United States, we have relied on a work practice called LDAR, where we find leaks and we fix them. Unfortunately, many times we find them over and over and over again. So they keep emitting, they keep leaking, and they keep contributing emissions. The new paradigm, instead of find leaks and fix them, is design components for low emissions. Within the last few years, we've had vast improvements in engineered packing sets and gaskets and so forth, but really the testing has been the big step forward. So API 622 is the first one we need to talk about, and that's a packing test. It's an accelerated wear test where you're going to run through 1,500 open-close cycles and 3 thermal cycles, where we're going to raise it up to 600 degrees and back down to the ambient temperature in your lab, and run it through all of this, which is considered to be at least worth 5 years of field wear and tear on the component. During the course of this, to pass API 622 and become a certified low emission packing, it has to go through with no adjustments and never exceed 100 parts per million, which is well below the existing lowest leak definitions required in LDAR right now. So we're saying if the operations in the field reflect what happens in the test, you should install this new valve and have at least 5 years of leak-free service. We also have even newer API 624, which is a valve test. It has to have installed in it a packing that's already passed API 622. And so now we're certifying that this particular manufacturer's valve and this pressure rating and this size will actually perform with that packing in a way to meet low E technology. EPA is very aware of all this work. They've become increasingly disappointed with the results of Method 21 being able to find every leak in the field. And so they're looking to the new paradigm of design for low emissions as something that would take the pressure off of Method 21. If we have a majority of components in the field that almost never inherently leak, then we're less dependent on the ability of the technician to find every leak when they do occur. So they've been writing this in as a mandatory requirement in every consent decree they've negotiated since 2009. And that says every time you install a new valve in hydrocarbon service, that has to be a certified low emission valve unless you can demonstrate that that valve is commercially unavailable. By taking the initiative on a voluntary basis, you have the opportunity to really benefit your facility. And all of the stress on your LDAR program will be reduced through doing that. And if you do that well enough on a voluntary basis, EPA may not be interested in pursuing a mandatory requirement for you. And that's a big benefit because there's a very small percentage of fringe components where only very expensive fixes are going to be available. Now this low leak technology is something we could spend days or weeks on instead of these few minutes. So I apologize that we couldn't cover everything, and I'd be happy to talk to you at any time to get into more of the details. But thank you for your attention today.